Hi, third graders. You have been working for the past few days on personification, and yesterday you wrote with personification yourself. So, personification being when non human things are given human qualities. So, listen to some of these things that you wrote, some of your classmates wrote. The snow danced from the sky. It was snowing and the other day, and I can just picture those big flakes kind of floating down. But the snow danced from the sky. So the snow is a non-human thing, and the human quality is dancing. So the snow is dancing. So it's not comparing. It is saying that the snow is dancing. The alarm clock screamed at my face. So the alarm clock being the non-human thing, and then screaming would be the human action. Um, The willow tree belly danced along the pond. So the willow tree being the non-human thing, belly dancing. So excellent examples of personification. You now, as a reader, probably will recognize personification within texts more and have a better understanding of what the author is trying to say when he or she uses personification. Today, we're going to move on to another type of figurative language. So, you're going to want your reading notebook to take some more notes. And if you're like me, you've probably run out of space on this page. So, go to the next available page. Today, we're going to learn about idioms. And what we're going to do today is just go back to the beginning, like we have with all the others. We're just going to identify them. So, today, we're just going to learn what idioms are and identify them. That means notice them in a text. So, idioms are an expression that means like a phrase or a string of words, an expression that means something different than the words actually say. So, pause the video and write that in your notebook and then come back. So, notice in idioms, they're not comparing. They're also different, like the non-human things aren't given human qualities. It's just a phrase or an expression that means something very different than what the words actually say. So really what we're going to do today, I'm going to read a story to you that uses lots of idioms, so you just hear some examples. um, there's another video to watch also if you want to hear more examples. There's an IXL to practice, there's a quizzes. So the point is that you're just hearing lots of examples of idioms today. So the story I want to read to you is called Even More Parts by Ted Arnold. You might be familiar with it. Great book, full of idioms. I'll point some out to you and just as soon as we get to them. Even more parts. Sometimes I wish my stupid ears weren't always open wide. They hear such strange and crazy talk. I'm scared to go outside. I jotted down a list of all the scary things I've heard. Believe me, all of these are real. I wrote them word for word. To leave my bedroom unprepared, I'd have to be a fool. Excuse me now, there's work to do before I go to school. I lost my head. I keep changing my mind. These are examples of idioms. So it's not comparing anything, and it's not giving a non human object human qualities. It's just a phrase. It's a phrase that you may have used yourself. I lost my head. So, literally, this is what it would mean, a headless person. So, we know that that phrase is not meant to be taken literally. If I've lost my head, what do you think that means? Or if you've used that term, I've lost my head or I've lost my mind, kind of like I'm going crazy. Or it can also mean losing everything. Or I keep changing my mind. That doesn't mean literally taking your brain out and putting a different one in. Changing my mind kind of means like trying to make a decision, and you make a decision, but then you change that decision and go with a different one. So that's an expression that means something different than what the words are actually saying if you take those words literally, which we don't want to. That's the point of an idiom. I want all eyes on me. I've probably used that term. Or give me your eyes. I've used that term in the classroom. I don't mean literally. It means look at me. Everybody, look at me. So why would someone use an idiom? If couldn't I just say look at me? Yes, I could. It's kind of fun. It's kind of humorous. It's just a phrase that tends to get popular, and then you tend to use it some without even realizing it. I want all eyes on me. My ears are burning. My nose is running. Do you see the nose with legs? We know if we say my nose is running, that means like there's stuff coming out of my nose and I need a Kleenex. But if you take it literally, my nose is running, that's an idiom. I'm tongue-tied. Don't give me any of your lip. I have a frog in my throat. I know there's more text down here in little speech bubbles. For the sake of time, I'm not going to read through those. But sometime, if you were to come across this book, you could spend some time really enjoying the full text. I sang my heart out. My stomach is growling. I'm sure you've used that one. Please lend me a hand. Can't help but laugh when you look at some of these pictures. It cost an arm and a leg. I put my foot in my mouth. I'd better toe the line. It made my skin crawl. I got all bent out of shape. I went to pieces. Excuse me. There are so many crazy things I have to keep in mind. I sure don't want to accidentally leave my parts behind. Mom says, "Dear, it's time for school. Let's go or you'll be late." Then Dad says, "Just remember, son, keep your head on straight." Fun story. Hope you got a little laugh out of some of those pictures too, because this is full of idioms. They tend to be humorous. Um, they're expressions that mean something different than the word actually says. This is another than the words actually say. This is another type of figurative language. So the goal today is for you through practice and through the videos is just to hear lots of examples so that you can also identify an example. So on the last slide, the must do slide, there's an excerpt from a story and it's got several idioms in it. So after hearing several idioms today and you catching on to what they are, your goal is to be able to highlight examples of idioms within a text. So have fun.